likely.
The two of them together make it look like it was one piece of paper.
Workday is over. I was just lying in bed feeling disgusting and sorry for myself because I have eaten way too much today. And rather than doing that, I'm just gonna go for a golf cart ride. And then when I come back from my golf cart ride, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to reread the last 30 or 40 pages of what I have written in that book. Because I suddenly have a block of time tomorrow evening that, so I have calls at 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock tomorrow night, but I don't have anything on the calendar for 4 to 7. So that is writing time built in. So I'm gonna do that and try to knock this book out this week, dadgummit. I'm gonna get it done. The title of this vlog is gonna be the one in which I finish book 2. So HIIT workout number 2 has been completed. I stretched for double the time that I did last time, and I am not nearly as sore as I was. So I definitely feel it in my obliques this time, but it is not so painful I cannot move, so excellent. I also got about 3/4 of a chapter done yesterday. I'm really pleased with it, and I'm actually thinking about rearranging where the previous chapter ended to have it end sort of in the middle of this chapter, and then just extending this chapter a little bit more, filling it out and whatnot. So yeah, I definitely, awkward. So I definitely think finishing is well within reach, and I'm just gonna stay calm and focused and try not to set those deadlines and those goals, because they haven't been working for the past, I don't know, maybe 6 months. So right now I am rocking an actual lipstick. Well, it's not really a lipstick. It's one of those sugar lip treatment things that's got a tint in it, and I kind of like it. It's different. It was interesting trying to apply it since I have never ever done a lipstick. Like I don't have a lot of practice with those, so that was fun. Imagine I'll get used to it. It's not like the color is opaque, so if I miss a little, it comes right off. So it's fine. It's fine. Right. So now I am prepping to have breakfast and run a quick errand. I've got to pay my water sewer. Wait a minute. What is it? Stormwater. I got to pay my stormwater bill, which is something that's paid twice a year, and it's like 30 bucks, and it's a big pain in the neck because you can only pay by check, and I don't use checks. And I don't like mailing checks because, your account number's on those, and that's weird. That's weird that we mail those. So that's a thing that's gonna get done, and then I will come back, and I've got a call my first call is at 10, my last call is at 9, so it'll be another long day, but I think there's a break in the middle. Not really a break. There's a little bit of a break, and then there's an hour-long webinar. So technically it's not a break because I'm still paying attention to the webinar, but I'm not talking to anybody either, so that's handy. Okay, so that is what's happening for today, Thursday. I've developed an eye twitch. I don't know how much you can really see, but my whole eyelid goes boop, boop. However, new mascara looks great. Here is my Target haul on my unmade bed because Remus threw up on the comforter about 3 o'clock this morning. So I picked up my It's like, I don't know, what do you call it? Body soap, whatever. I love this stuff. It's got lots of crazy little scrubby things that are sugar, or sugar based, so they dissolve so they don't clog up, you know, the rivers and the streams and stuff. That's important. A lot of the exfoliants have little tiny plastic beads, and those plastic beads don't biodegrade. These are food based, so they do. I am trying a new toothpaste. I have a calcium deficiency, so my teeth are always yellowish. And this toothpaste has a fantastic review base online, so I'm going to give it a shot. I also switched up my toothbrush to a round head spinny brush like they have at the dentist office, and that is what my dentist suggested I use because, again, arthritis in the hands, it makes it hard for me to scrub very vigorously. So, more hangers, because I am running low on hangers, and I always seem to be running low on hangers. I'm not sure where they go, but there it is. And then I got some new colors from my toes. I think I'm going to start with this one over here, this sort of ballet pinky color. Focus. Is it just so much the same color you can't even tell? There it is. I'm gonna try this one first. This is like a ballet pinky nude color. So I don't even remember what it's called. It is called Cream of the Crop. So I'm gonna try that one. Then I got this peachy color, which is called something Malibu Peach. And then this yellow guy, which is Gigabyte, which is an odd name for a yellow. But there it is. That is my Target haul. Yay, Target haul! Remus is still on the trash. So, bed's not made. Trash isn't put away. Camera's not focusing as quickly as it used to. Oh, it's a good day.
Room was picked. His name's Bobby Walsh. Check out this photo of him. I don't know which is.
I just fell asleep the entire time. I can't even speak. Big old thumbs up to let me know. If you haven't seen yesterday's main channel video.
Well, I knew it would happen one day. I'm out of room. It's time for clean out. Oh, I'll miss you. So that's what I'm getting rid of. Some of these things, like this guy and that guy. Some of these things have been in my closet for over 6 years. Like this guy is like 7 years at least. And they're all still in really great shape, but they're just not things that I wear anymore. They're not patterns that I still like them, but I feel like they just don't fit my style anymore. Interestingly, a lot of these things are Stitch Fix items that after wearing for a couple of hours at a time, I realized that they just aren't comfortable. There's no breathy in the fabric, there's no stretch in the fabric, so you end up getting really tight in the shoulders. So all of those things are gonna get nicely folded up and donated. So yeah, it's not as much as I thought it would be, and I went through my closet, just the top rack here, this rack here, and cleaned out the things that I just don't wear anymore. Everything else, and down here too, and these are the dresses. All of these things I actually wear fairly regularly. There are some pieces that I absolutely live in. Like I am living in these guys lately. That will probably switch over to these guys as the weather gets a little hotter. And then of course the summer dresses are up here. So yeah, I'm satisfied with that. So I have two dilemmas right now. One is the coughing fit I just had and am filming way too fast after that fit. Two is I used a little too much product in my hair and let it air dry a little too long. So it looks pretty awful. Pretty awful. I'm gonna have to go in it with a curling iron, I think, later. And three, did I say two? I meant three. Three, it is currently 2:30 and I have 30 minutes before my 3 o'clock call, and I really don't want to make lunch. I don't want to make lunch. I want to go get lunch, and that's not helping me lose any weight. I I am going on a shoot for a friend tomorrow. I'm taking her kids' pictures. I usually do this about twice a year. I work with her. She's super awesome. Her kids are really cute. So it's one of the few things that I do in terms of portrait shots. Okay, so what I take on portrait shots are this lens. This is the 24-70 Sigma with a 2.8 all the way through. So it's a super fast portrait lens. This is one of the newer, this is the newer style. It's the artisan lens. It's nice and heavy and really fast. Beautiful creamy bokeh. I love this lens indoors especially because it works in the low light and it still gives a nice creamy background in the back. So extra memory card, always. I'll probably take 2 or 3 of these just in case. Memory cards, I have never had one happen before, but memory cards have a tendency to fail, much like batteries, so you always carry backups. Speaking of battery backups, there is my extra battery, which is fully charged. I like to keep these little plastic things on the ends because the connectors can be a little finicky and sensitive, and I put these inside just pockets and whatever, so I like to keep them as lint-free and perfect as possible. So then I take my camera, obviously. This is my D750. I know we've talked about it numerous times before. I've named him Beast. He's fantastic. I love him with all of my heart. He is exactly what I need when I need it. Attached is my favorite portrait lens, which is my 70-200 2.8. It's also a Sigma. It's also one of the newer styles. It's a 2.8 all the way through, which means it is super fast. And with the longer focal length, you get a better separation of subject and background. So, awesome. I use this lens for just about everything. This has now become my go-to deer hunting lens. Almost everything except for indoor photography and birds. Birds, I still have to use the giant guy, the 600, which isn't as fast, and I can only use it in like bright daylight. But yeah, this is my favorite, absolute favorite. This is the part that hooks onto the tripod. It's you know, it twists and moves, so it's supposed to sit on the bottom and it'll hook onto a tripod via this thing right here, because the lens is heavier than the camera, and when the lens is heavier than the camera, you want to hook your lens to the tripod and not the camera, because the connection can bend and warp. It's a metal connection, so it's very unlikely that it would break, especially with a lens like this, but it would definitely bend it and warp it if you weren't careful. So I keep it on the top because it makes it easier for me to grip the lens from the bottom and hold it steady, rather than having that big foot right there. So those are the things that I am taking. It's just gonna be a super simple shoot. I am taking this bag. This is my National Geographic camera bag. I can't remember what style it is, but it's National Geographic with my Georgia Tech keychain. So my battery and my extra memory cards will all go in there. The camera with the lens attached will go in there, and the lens will go towards the bottom. So I can open it from the front and get the camera out fast, or open it from the top and pull it out from the top, depending. Extra lenses will go on either side. These little tiny pockets I use for like my cell phone and my keys and whatever that was that I just dropped. Oh, it's the top of a lens brush. It's totally fine. So yeah, so in here here's the lens brush, and that's the top that just fell on the ground. So this is a handy little thing. It's got a very soft bristle brush on the end. I really like this. And then a soft sort of microfibery bit on the other end. Really handy, really, really handy when you need to get junk off your lens and you can't blow on it because of the, you know, the heat in your breath fogs up your lens and whatever. This also has a water bottle pocket that stuffs inside and zips, and on this side is another zip pocket, and that's usually where I keep my vlogging camera because it's really easy to grab and go. This bag also has a whole bunch of interior pockets. I usually put my wallet there, and this is a extra USB stick. I'm not sure why I carry that because it's not like I need it for anything. And then a laptop sleeve. Fun story, my giant laptop, the 17-inch MacBook Pro, will fit in here. It's tight, but it'll fit, and it'll even zip all the way. Yeah, his name is Chuck, for Chuck Norris. Not that you needed to know that, or probably cared, but there it is. Okay, so that is what I'm taking. I'm going to a local downtown area that's super historic and old with a train depot and the whole thing. So that's where we're going to shoot tomorrow, and I think that's it. I feel like there are other things I should be telling you, but I don't know. So I have my Sunday morning blueberry muffin and a frappuccino because I felt like, yeah, that's the thing that I need today. So I went ahead and got that. It's noon. This is the first time I've eaten all day. I slept until about, well, that's not true. Remus woke me up at 5:30 demanding breakfast. And so I got up and I was awake for about an hour, hour and a half, and then fell back asleep, thankfully. And then woke up again around 10. Finally crawled out of bed around 10:30 and then just sort of piddled around. I did my favorites, my monthly favorites photo for Instagram, you know, and just felt like slow goings this morning, really slow goings. So now I am on the way to the PetSmart to get Remus some treats because he's nearly out, and everybody knows that boy eats his treats. And I'm hoping Parrish will be able to show up sometime today and we can go deer hunting. He's been busy at his house all week and weekend, and he's had some sort of strange allergic reaction to something, and we can't quite figure out what it is. So he's been on the Zyrtec, and the Zyrtec puts you to sleep, so he hasn't really felt like doing much, bless his heart. So much so I gotta work on that. No, I can't. I gotta let the sows go. The sows have got to go, much like the likes and the sows. I've gotta fix that. Right. So that was my week. Encourage each other with sweetness and light, and I will see you next Sunday.